When you're rich, having the very best food isn't just about the taste. It's about showing off and impressing your friends. One lady hoping to wow her friends is Jory White. An important milestone is approaching, and she wants to celebrate with a party. It's her 17th wedding anniversary.
I want something that's going to blow everybody's mind with food and drink, and something that's theatrical and extraordinary. If you really want to impress someone and make them remember the experience for months and years to come, you really need to take that step further and give them something that is super sensory and super experiential, and that's what I'm hoping to get.
Jury has chosen Bubble Food to cater at her anniversary party. Pioneers of molecular gastronomy, they're famous in celebrity and millionaire circles for their innovative use of technology, attention to detail, and creative presentation.
People now want food to be entertainment, they want it to be a spectacle, and they're quite willing to pay a lot of money for it.
People don't expect just to eat good food now, they want a whole experience, they want to be immersed in a whole evening and a whole different world.
Boss Michael must pitch Bubble's very best ideas to Jury. To wow her, they're going to have to pull out all the stops.
Can I have a glass of wine, please? Calm me down a bit.
The dinner party will cost more than £10,000. It's a laborious process of pitches and tastings to perfect the menu.
Because it's her 17th wedding anniversary, I think it would be quite nice to propose 17 sensory moments throughout the evening. To tie in with the number, really. To give it a little bit more of a bespoke touch. Let's do this. Hey!
Jury's husband, photographer Adrian, is joining her for the pitch.
Nice to meet you. Good, thanks. Nice to meet you.
Michael knows how to do it, his team know how to do it, and the chefs are all so fantastic.
I think the type of people we've got coming obviously have been to lots of different events before, so are not easily impressed.
But impress they must. So Bubble will tailor the evening specifically to Jury's whims and wishes.
I'm having a coconut fit right now because coconut is where it's at.
Yeah.
And so I really want to do something with coconut.
I mean, we can incorporate anything into the menu.
Okay.
I mean, that's not a problem.
As well as coconut, Jury loves truffles, so the team has devised a truffle hunting experience. Guests will hunt through a box of leaves to find truffle-flavoured canapés.
So it's in the wooden box filled with kind of leaves and bark, like a ham and truffle croquette.
So truffles, I'm up for it. Adrian's exhibition is all about, it's coming together big time, and it's all about trees and forests. So maybe we go down that road a bit.
Yeah.
That really excites me. Cool. Cool.
But when you take the canapé, you have to put these headphones on, which are snorting pigs.
I'm not going to be 100% sure that I'm going to choose to do that, but I really would. I don't mind trying it at all.
You'll try it at the tasting,
Okay.
and you'll love it. You're going to love it because it's such a talking point.
There'll be 8 courses at the dinner party, and each one must be approved by Jury and Adrian. The truffle dish won't be signed off until they try it next week at the tasting.
So you're going to have to live
up the
up to
ante.
the game, baby. Do you know what I mean? You need to up the ante and do a super effective job.
We
So
will.
every
Don't you
morsel
worry.
needs to be super tasty.
It will. Don't you worry.
Okay,
Don't you
cool.
worry. It'll be amazing.
The last party that Michael did for us was probably 3 or 4 years ago, and people still talk about that party because it was so amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of our clients use us to show off. I mean, that's why they come to us.
Showing off is important to Britain's new elite, and being the first to try the most exclusive club or the latest culinary hit is a good way to get ahead.
New places, new clubs, new restaurants, a lot of rich people around, so they're ready to pay.
Today, something new has arrived in Mayfair. A group of wealthy socialites have gathered to try this latest food fashion. It's escargot pearls, or snail's eggs to the rest of us.
Snail caviar is a luxury item on the continent. We're trying to introduce it here.
It's the first time producers Sophie and Mike have done a Mayfair tasting.
It's not a flavour that sits on your...
It's a tough audience to impress, which includes former Mrs. Russia, Maranika Smirnova.
I like caviar, but just a little bit scary to eat this white one.
I'm used to Caspian caviar, to the real stuff, and I don't think any new stuff can beat the old stuff.
That's nice. Not taste like real caviar. It's different.
It's very different, isn't it? Very, very different.
It kind of rolls in the mouth and flops, the real one, but this is much harder.
Fresh snail caviar isn't yet on sale in the capital, but that could all be about to change.
I like it more. I prefer this one. Just really don't know where to buy, maybe in Harrods.
The tasting has been a success, but it's early days for Sophie and Mike's fledgling business.
I love it. It's painstakingly produced. It takes forever. It's labour intensive, and it is a labour of love.
Sophie and Mike don't just sell the caviar, they make it. A far cry from swanky Mayfair. At home, in Aylesbury, in their back garden.
He's just waking up. He likes the warmth from my finger, that's it. He's curious now, he's going to come out and have a look.
Sophie and Mike became snail farmers by accident when Sophie ordered some edible snails online.
By the time they arrived to us, they're all crawling around, and I couldn't bring myself to eat them. So we kind of kept them as pets. Then the obvious thing happened. 21 days later, bingo, we had some more snails than you can ever imagine.
So they started a business selling escargot to restaurants around the UK. They had to learn fast about these amazing creatures.
The eyes are on the stalk, and the two tentacles that go out the front are solely feelers.
But that's not the strangest thing about snails. They fire darts from their heads to arouse their partners.
You can never stop learning. There is always something a snail will do that's a bit bizarre. You think, wow.
Snails are hermaphrodites with both male and female reproductive organs. After mating, for up to 12 hours, both partners lay eggs. And being snails, they do that in a rather weird way too.
So he puts his head into the cup, and at the last minute he twists his body a little, turns his head on one side, and they lay their eggs out of their head. And then we're left with the caviar. You'll see some of them will lay 20 to 30 eggs, and some of them will lay 100 or more.
Before they can be sold, the eggs must be washed and painstakingly sorted.
It takes a long time, which is obviously why we have to command the price, because the amount of labour that goes into this.
Sophie's the only snail caviar producer in the UK, so if she can crack the luxury food market, there's big money to be made.
You got 12 grams for €29. So €2,400 per kilo. It's a lot of money.
If you've got more money than most, showing off on holiday with a super yacht is just the ticket. It's midsummer, and the south of France is awash with mega yachts and mega spending on all things extravagant.
This is Armand de Brignac. This is Jay-Z and Beyonce's house champagne, for want of a better description. About 200, 250 euros a bottle, though, so what's so lovely about this is that the branding's so understated, isn't it? It's not at all tacky, is it? Yeah, certainly some of our clients like a bit of bling.
Simon O'Neill runs a company called Penham, supplying the finest food and drink to the biggest and brashest boats on the Côte d'Azur.
Penham is Latin for provisions. It's also the ablative for penis, as my father told me. Since he's a Latin scholar, which wasn't very good after we'd done all the branding. But no, Penham is the Latin for victuals and to provision prior to departure.
The Côte d'Azur is a tightly knit and competitive place. Simon's been running Penham for 3 years, and so far, business is booming.
The furthest one is one of our clients, as is this nearest one, quite modern looking. The richest people in the world own these boats, it's as simple as that, multi-billionaires. They are the most incredible expression of wealth. She's probably 75, 80 metres long. You've got to be looking at 100 million plus for that. We've got clients who are royalty. We've got clients who are multi-billionaires. The majority of the people that charter boats are just incredibly wealthy or high-profile individuals. But they are demanding, yeah. They're the richest people in the world.
Van's going to leave tomorrow morning to go to Italy.
Simon buys whatever the super yachters want and delivers it to them wherever and whenever they need it.
Dairy, fruit, veg, meat, fish, laundry, toilet paper, expensive bottles of wine, the whole gambit, everything that you could potentially require. And we have to go to some considerable lengths to get what it is that the client wants. It's not for us to decide whether the Manuka honey is important or not, we just need to get it. Who's this for? Sparkling vodka? What are they going to come up with next?
With new boats arriving every day, it's the busiest time of year to make money for Simon and his team.
We're right in the middle of the season at the moment. We've got 5 months of the year in which to make our money. Orders are coming in on a regular basis and the team's at full stretch, so it is as busy as it can get.
In Aylesbury, Sophie and Mike have gone from keeping a few snails as pets to becoming farmers.
Trying to distribute flour onto the damp leaves, and this evening the snails will come up, pretty much eat the lot.
They now have a field full of snails being fattened up to sell to restaurants as escargots.
They're ravenous at this age. The first ones we put in 2 weeks ago are huge already.
Growing the business has been a challenge as Sophie suffers from multiple sclerosis.
It affects my legs, it affects my hands, and it affects my mobility. For me, because I'm not as mobile, it's sometimes so frustrating because I have to rely on someone to do something for me. Can you move this? Can you lift this? Sometimes it is so totally frustrating.
She's amazing. She is totally amazing. I couldn't have done it on my own. I couldn't do what she does.
Sophie's determined to expand the business by pushing their snail caviar into the luxury food market. They've already attracted the attention of Michelin-starred chef Aidan Byrne.
I first discovered the caviar in the Dorchester. It was horrible. But then we started buying snail smells with snails. She said that we've got this snail caviar, and so she sent it in, and I tasted it, and it wasn't anything like what I remembered it to be. The flavour's a little bit more refined. It's not as soily.
It's just always there to bounce ideas with. If I've got an idea that I want to do something, I can just pick up the phone and it's great.
At £1,400 a kilo, Aidan uses the caviar sparingly. It's the final garnish for his signature snail and razor clam starter.
Caviar, please. It's a bloody expensive ingredient. We quite literally put about 8 or 10 pearls on each plate. With it on the plate, I have to sell the plate for £5 more. There we go.
Amazing.
It's your snails.
But Aidan points out a major problem with Mike and Sophie's business plan. It needs a reliable supply.
We get it very sporadically. We'll phone up and say, well, we've got no caviar, can we get some? Oh, it'll be another 3 weeks before we can have some. And then it'll just turn up out the blue.
The supply is unreliable because the fresh eggs only last a week. But after a month experimenting in the kitchen, Sophie thinks she's found a way to preserve them without altering the taste.
This could have a massive impact on our business. It's love dust. Simple as that. We're producing something that's got a lot of love, so it's got love dust.
The secret love dust is sent off to the lab for testing. Sophie must wait 3 months to find out if it could transform her business. It's high season on the Côte d'Azur, and the mega-rich are jostling for space to show off their super yachts. The yachts can cost up to £1 million a week to charter, so whilst on board, the guests naturally expect the very best food and drink.
This is Rémy Martin's top cuvée, €3,000. sold to the gentleman in the front row. Proper bit of bling, isn't it?
At Penham, it's their busiest time of year. Simon and his team are working flat out to complete orders.
500ml that you have.
You know what they're like, they leave this all to the last minute. They expect us to move mountains, so give me a shout when you're on deck and we can run through the order. This is a couple of €1,000 a bottle. Very difficult to get hold of. The client wants 2, we've got them.
The whiskey is part of a £12,000 order to be sent to a yacht in Ibiza. But it's not all expensive booze.
Has this become a superfood in the UK? I have no idea, but everybody wants kale.
Why?
Yeah, I mean, this year it seems that kale is the food trend of the season. Goji berries was last year, the year before was Manuka honey. Hemp protein seems to be a favourite. Wheat germ powder. Not for us to ask, we just get on the supply. Like toilet paper. Everybody's got to wipe their arse. We're required to get them everything that they could possibly want from us. The world will stop turning if Madame doesn't have her 0% soya milk yogurt in glass jars. That was the only thing Madame was going to be eating and drinking for the next sort of 2 to 3 weeks. Well, she got it, but luckily her husband spent the thick end of 20,000 on fine wine, so it made it all worth everybody's while to do it.
Whilst every billionaire enjoys the finer things in life, there are a few items on the list that are more familiar to the rest of us. Simon's assistant Paul is at Jeffrey's, the south of France's very own corner shop, full of British products at Côte d'Azur prices.
So this will cost you about £2.50 in the UK. By the time it arrives here and it's on the shelf, we're looking at probably around €8. By the time we mark it up and we sell it onto the yacht, we're looking at maybe 11, possibly €12.
That's nearly 9 of our British pounds.
So you could say it's the most expensive Marmite in the world.
With a Marmite safely packed, the van will drive down the coast to Spain, catch a ferry to Ibiza, and rendezvous with the super yacht.
Probably what you've got in here is probably about €15,000 worth of produce. It's just because it's got so much wine, it's a little bit of expensive bits and pieces, lots of fine chocolates, yeah. So someone will be partying on someone's boat tomorrow with this lot. Next stop, Ibiza.
In London, luxury caterers Bubble have been hard at work creating bespoke dishes for Jury and Adrian's anniversary party. Today, they must finalise the menu.
It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to give all of our friends such a complete taste sensation and kind of visual, sensory, kind of overawing kind of, whoa, what's going on? They're all going to have so much fun. And I know for a fact that they'll talk about it for ages to come.
So this is a little tapioca crisp with hamachi, kingfish.
Yum. Lovely presentation with the flowers.
Every dish must be tasted, critiqued, and signed off by Jury before it can be served at the party next week.
Our next campaign is a little bit of diced native lobster, topped with black radish and gold leaf.
Very nice, very nice.
Bubble are presenting some of the world's most costly ingredients, served not just as food, but as theatre.
House smoked sea trout with mustard mayonnaise.
So that's a good one.
This is the one I was talking to you about.
Time for the showstopper.
Okay.
A box filled with leaves, hiding tiny truffle-flavoured canapés.
So that'll be the sound aspect.
Guests must root through the box like pigs hunting truffles in a forest.
What is going on there? That's kind of cool. I like that.
To help get into character, headphones play the sounds of oinking pigs.
I feel like taste that.
Fair enough.
Actually, you need to put that on there when you do it. It's really good. That's delicious. Where's another one?
I'm sure I recognise one of those pigs. No, very, very nice.
So I think, Jory, if you maybe sit here.
After truffling success, time for the mains. But first, Bubble have another surprise. They've scented the napkins with personally tailored oil perfume. So for Jury, it's the all-important coconut.
Coconut scented towel.
Oh, nice. I love coconut.
Wow.
And
Jury's husband likes trees, so his towel smells of trees.
So this will be a really lovely touch for your guests. There'll be one overriding scent that you know your guests are probably a real fan of, whether it's something woody, whether it's something citrus or floral, and we can really tailor the scent to your guests' specific tastes.
Chef Jens has a budget of over £1,000 a head, so the fish course, up next, spares no expense.
So the osseous caviar is about £1,600 a kilo, so obviously that costs a fair bit. King crab is a really premium product, over £100 for an actual crab.
And of course, it's all topped off with a sheet of edible, yet tasteless, gold leaf.
So although it's quite a small dish, yeah, it adds up, it's worth a fair bit.
But with the next two courses, there's a problem. The burrata ball looks a bit like the octopus carpaccio.
the presentation is very similar to the tomato dish. And I kind of prefer it if it wasn't a similar presentation, and I can't deter from the tomato dish because it was so divine.
We could represent it and send you images if you want.
It's a tough one. How do we play that one then? You can think about that.
Jury's looking for perfection, but these tough decisions must be made soon.
I think we need to refine a couple of things and make sure it's exactly what she's looking for.
Michael and his team have just 6 days to create a menu that satisfies her every desire. It's one thing being able to afford the finest food, and another knowing how to eat it. William Hanson makes a living from teaching British table manners to confused foreigners.
Food is pivotal because we do it 3 times a day, and we judge people as we judge people on their handshake. We judge someone by how they eat, and I don't care how much money you have. If someone is eating messily, noisily, or badly, I'm not likely to want to eat with them again.
William is only 24, but has been teaching etiquette for 7 years and travels the world giving tutorials.
People think I'm doing this as a hobby, or I'm some sort of character, sort of a bit like Keith Lemon or something like that, or Dame Edna if we're being a little bit more upmarket. But no, it is a proper job. This is not some sort of sick, perverted joke. This is me. I mean, this is my life.
Today, William is meeting Galia, an Uzbek businesswoman who loves everything British.
I love the Britishness. I love driving Jaguar. You can't beat the class of British cars. Beautiful, smooth, sophisticated, classy. Always wanted a Jaguar. That's a star buy.
She's about to receive a lesson on the art of afternoon tea.
How do you put the napkin? How do you eat your scones and things like that. I would like to learn how to do it properly.
They're meeting at the Goring near Buckingham Palace. It's the hotel where Kate Middleton stayed before her wedding. William is going to teach Galia how to have tea like a princess.
The issue is that they've got a lot of money, and they've got all the designer stuff, and they've got fine china. They just don't quite know what to do with it. It is all the gear, no idea.
Just around the corner from Buckingham Palace, etiquette expert William Hanson is at the Goring Hotel for afternoon tea. He's here to give a lesson in table manners to Galia, an Uzbek millionairess.
Galia, hello, how do you do?
I do.
William
Nice to meet
Hanson.
For foreign visitors, there's no more English a meal than afternoon tea. But its rules and conventions are a minefield. So William starts with the basics.
And could you just show me how you would stir your tea?
I'll try not to
You're
be
going
noisy.
round and round. Right.
Yes.
Well, that's lovely. What we're actually going to do is we're going to go back and forth, because you won't splash as much. No, not sort of skipping along the surface, just back and forth, gently, and then flicking the teaspoon above the tea, not hitting it on the side. We don't want silly noises, and then putting it parallel to the handle at the back. Gosh, doesn't it look lovely?
Table manners differ enormously around the world.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but in Russia you would rest your wrists on the table when you are not eating, and this is to show that you're not carrying a weapon. Whereas in Britain the hands go in the lap, because of course we're unarmed, we would not be so rude as to kill someone during a meal, we would wait until afterwards. What happens at the tea, or at the lunch, or at the dinner is much more important than killing somebody.
Having safely negotiated the cutlery, William starts work on Galia's language skills.
Now, of course, the pronunciation of the word scone is perhaps one of the more important issues that modern society faces. Would you say it is scone or scone?
According to the pronunciation rules, it should be scone.
We actually would pronounce it scone, because once it's gone, it's gone. A lot of people call it a scone because, again, they think it sounds more sophisticated than a scone. Slightly affected, but Her Majesty pronounces it scone, and it is, of course, her English, so I think we will go along with scone. So, would you like a scone?
Yes, please. Yes.
That's a fruit one there. The jam is over there, out of reach from me. Now, what I'm not going to do is just lunge across you and grab the jam. I would say to you, Galia, would you like some jam? And you would say...
No, thank you.
And then you would say...
And then you're stuck.
No, and then hopefully you would say, but William, would you like some jam? And I say, yes, please. So I would not ask directly for the jam. That would be quite impolite.
2 hours, 4 scones, and 3 sandwiches later, Galia knows all there is to know about afternoon tea.
When I first came to this country, obviously the first thing I did was having afternoon tea at Ritz, Dorchester and Fortnum & Mason, as you do. I probably didn't do it properly then, and I certainly know how to do it properly now.
I am a little bit old before my time, yes. I'm a 50-something in the body of a 20-something-year-old. I will probably have a nervous breakdown when I'm 50 and behave disgracefully, but we'll wait for that day to come.
In the south of France, British etiquette and quiet reserve aren't required. Here, the bigger and brusher, the better. And Simon is more than happy to supply it. It's the end of the season, and he's heading to Monaco to discuss an order.
The chefs that we work with are under tremendous pressure. They've got to produce amazing quality food because the people that they're providing it to are multi-billionaires.
Simon is meeting Patrick Wilkie, the chef aboard the yacht Nassima.
Thanks.
Simon.
How you doing, Patrick?
G'day.
Good to see you, mate.
Likewise.
Nassima is a 50-metre-long, £20 million super yacht.
This is just stunning, isn't it?
Lovely little fish tank.
It's pretty impressive. I don't think I've actually seen a fish tank on board a yacht. Certainly not as a dividing wall.
Yeah.
Built 3 years ago, Nassima can go round the world, but spends most of her time on the shores of the Mediterranean.
Come through here, you'll like this.
There's a fully equipped gym, so guests can work off their lavish meals.
You don't bang your head on the ceiling. I thought you would.
Good on you, mate.
There's room on deck for 2 jet skis, 2 speedboats, and a hot tub.
This is the master.
And of course, sumptuous accommodation for up to 12 guests.
Pretty impressive, isn't it?
And well, this is my little room in here. I share this with the chief engineer. He's on the bottom, I'm on the top. We don't have to top and tail, at least. It's close quarters, but you get used to it.
Patrick is dealing with an impromptu party for 60 guests, so gives Simon an order of vegetables, seafood and Wagyu beef that must be delivered to the yacht by tomorrow afternoon.
All right,
Okay.
so you're happy with everything for tomorrow?
Sweet. Thank you very
for the
much.
show? Cool. Thanks for your time, Patrick. Good luck.
Absolutely wonderful.
I'll see you.
For the last 6 years, Patrick has lived side by side with the world's mega-rich.
There is unlimited budget with these guys, so you can literally buy what you want in the quantities that you need without being hindered by monetary aspects of it. You know, I've worked on boats where 500 euro notes, bang, 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 piles of them lying around the boat, literally, piles of them lying around the boat. And it's unfathomable. These guys have got so much wealth that they can wish and dream for anything they want to, they can have it. Can you get a couple of different varieties of bread for lunch? 1 baguette and 1 sort of wholemeal or cereal bread, please. Enough for 8 people. Coffee. We did have some Russian folks on a boat a couple of years ago who they would bring their own cans of 500 grams of caviar. And it's the real stuff. The boss would come down to the galley and he'd say, make me some blinis. Okay, we'll make some pancakes up front. He says, give me a spoon. So, spoon. And then he'd get this big dinner spoon, you know, put 2 or 3 big slopping spoonfuls of this caviar. I'm talking about, you know, $200 a spoonful. Boom, boom, boom. So, you know, it's a big, expensive plate. Sour cream on top of that, rolled it up. Eat! You must eat! It was awful.
The next morning, Simon is up early to complete Patrick's order. First stop, pick up the seafood.
Salut Gilles. Comment ça va? Ça va bien, bon fond?
Ouais, impeccable.
Super.
Bonjour.
The demand for the freshest seafood is so high at this time of year that fishmonger Gilles works a 20-hour day.
Hello? Yes.
The seafood doesn't just come from the Med, it's flown in from around the world with a price tag to match.
Et donc ici, il n'y a que des produits qui sont vivants, d'accord? Il n'y a que des produits qui sont vivants, et c'est des produits qu'on garde en bassin. La clientèle veut vraiment que le produit soit en train de bouger et que ça soit le plus frais possible. Alors ça, c'est une langouste royale. Le prix pour ça, c'est plus de 100 € le kilo. Expensive, very expensive. La commande la plus bizarre, c'est un ton de 100 kilos for 2 persons. For 2 persons, very expensive. Comme Louis Vuitton ou Dior ou Chanel, c'est pareil. Se font des bisous. Elle dit au revoir. Au revoir. Au revoir. Bye bye.
Next stop is to collect Patrick's prized Wagyu beef from Maison Lino, the Prince of Monaco's butcher of choice.
Tout est prêt comme vous l'avez demandé.
Super.
Et la facture est ici.
Super. Merci. À
Je vous en prie.
Merci, au revoir.
À plus tard.
Bring it all through here. Sweet! Look at this.
So you got your edible flowers.
Lovely.
And some bits and pieces in there.
Bit of rabbit food.
Yeah, a bit of rabbit food.
Good, good,
Daikon.
good. Daikon's great.
Standard stuff, that is. Well, that's the pièce de résistance.
Ooh la la.
That's your Wagyu.
Yep.
We've got this from our local butcher.
Lovely.
This is coming in at about $2.50 a kilo.
Cool. No, I'm happy with that. That'll cook up beautifully. Wagyu beef is very popular on yachts. Wagyu means Japanese cow, essentially. And it's heavily marbled, little strip of fat and goodness going through it. And it is gorgeous. It's very, very lovely stuff. I would not be buying it at home. My wife would freak.
The most famous Wagyu comes from the island of Honshu in Japan. But this prime beef can now also be found in Powys in North Wales.
This is Abramovich. He's a Japanese black Wagyu bull, directly descended from Japan. He arrived as an embryo from Australia some 80 years ago. And he's the daddy of all these little calves here.
This herd of exotic cattle belongs to farmer Ifor Humphreys.
Beer time, boys. Ready for some beer, are you? So it's a little bit yeastier than normal, but the cows certainly love it. Come and get your beer then, boys.
He even farms according to Japanese tradition. That means giving the herd beer every day to improve the marbling effect that makes Wagyu meat so valuable.
These boys are nearly 30 months old. Most British beef is killed at 12 to 18 months old. The marbling is the last fat to be laid down, and so they need a bit more age than usual to get to that level. What we're doing is not catering for the supermarket, we're catering for somebody who wants their beef to taste better. And I think the beer helps a little bit, doesn't it? Relaxing for man and beast. Occasionally, yeah, we like to share. I mean, we do get a pint out and relax together. And we can talk rubbish to each other. Just like in the pub.
It's not all beer and conversation. The herd enjoy another Wagyu tradition.
There is that extra 1%, which gives it that X factor, and I think that's the massage. I got to spend quite a while doing this, but my wife does get a bit jealous sometimes, yes. But she's next.
In Aylesbury, this year's snails have been harvested and are ready to be cleaned, cooked and sent out to restaurants.
They hibernate, so they'll go off to sleep until we're ready to use them. In our first year, we probably grew 200, 300 kilos, and we thought it was a lot of snails. Now, yeah, we're over 4 ton of snails, and things are quite different.
The result of Sophie's snail caviar recipe have come back from the lab, and they're not what she was hoping for.
You receive a report back, and it will show you the different areas that it's fallen down in. And obviously on prediction, we can just look and see that it wasn't going to make a 3-month test. It's quite easy to find something to preserve the caviar. That's not a problem at all. We could preserve it and give it a 3-month shelf life, no problem whatsoever. But if it's altering the flavour of the caviar, then it's no good. We've just got to keep putting tests in and tests in until we get the right one.
Undeterred, Sophie has decided to launch another snail product.
Wow. There's always something else you can do with snails. So the next little episode is the crisps. We're just waiting now for the green light for the packets to be run, and they'll be out in some of the stores before Christmas.
What do they taste of?
Snaily.
Escargot crisps. This is just another one of those weird and wacky ideas she's come up with, but it's really going to work, isn't it?
In London, at Jury and Adrian's home, the big night has arrived for bubble food. With 3 chefs, 5 waiters, an event manager, and freshly baked personalised buns, a night like this costs well over £1,000 a head.
We need to blend into the background, we need to be very quiet. The focus is on Jory entertaining with her guests. We don't want anything to detract from that.
I'm hoping for every single one of our friends that walks through the door to be wowed by every taste sensation that they have. And I can't wait to give my friends this experience. We're gonna have so much fun.
In southwest London, guests are arriving at Jury and Adrian's house to celebrate their 17th wedding anniversary.
Cheers.
Cheers. Caterers Bubble have been working for weeks on this £10,000 food extravaganza.
You know Adrian, of course.
Head chef Jens and his team are adding real wood smoke to the sea trout starter.
So they get a nice waft of smoke just before they eat their nice smoked sea trout canapé.
Anyhow, so I kind of made my way around and found him and did my thing. It's amazing.
That doesn't last long, so it's time for the bespoke woodland truffling experience, complete with pig noises.
So basically, you put these headphones on, and it's the sound of foraging in the forest while you're eating these truffles.
Are you joking?
It's wicked. It's so wicked. Wait, does that mean it's so wicked?
There's pigs. I'm in the forest. They're snorting.
That's the last train. Taste sensation.
Really good. The sound effects really good.
And you're talking really loud, Tom.
Yeah, really good. Thank you. Amazing. Wow.
It's genius. It's a genius idea. Tonight has already been a success based on one canapé.
With the canapés all gobbled up, hands and faces all cleansed with a personally scented hand towel, it's time to read tonight's menu with a magnifying glass. It's been shrunk and printed on edible paper.
This is an umami bomb, yeah? So, but if you take your looking glass and you look on that little piece of paper, that's your entire menu for the evening.
That's brilliant!
Tonight, Bubble are serving more than just food. It's entertainment on a plate.
I've always liked fun with my food, I think. It's balsamico vinegar. You think it's like caviar, but it's not.
And jury's guests are suitably wowed.
Exquisite. It's delicious. It works.
It's been an evening that will do jury's reputation in London society nothing but good.
I'd say it's the most extraordinary, inventive and experiential supper I've ever been invited to.
It's been amazing. It's been very, very good. Much more than expected, in fact, and I think everybody here has been absolutely blown away.
At a mere £10,000, it's a wedding anniversary to remember for Jury and Adrian.
When you actually meet someone and you know that that's the right person, then 17 years is a very short time. 17 years goes by very quickly.
It's been a good, fun ride.
Yeah.
On the Côte d'Azur, it's been a record season of excess. The super rich have spent billions on their super yachts, and they've binged on the world's finest food and drink whilst on board.
We've had an amazing season this year. We've gone from strength to strength, so there's absolutely no complaints. We've just done a really good job this year.
Simon's company, Penham Provisions, has turned over more than £1 million this summer.
These look superb, boys.
So to celebrate, he's throwing a small party for some of his chefs and suppliers.
Somebody who can afford to own a super yacht, they've either been born very lucky or they've made it very lucky. Them spending the sorts of money that they spend supports a whole industry of people who then ultimately pay their taxes and live normal lives. Huîtres fumées et le caviar de l'Assiette. The nice thing about working for the richest people in the world is that there is a little bit of a filter down process. And it is nice at the end of the season when everybody's worked flat out to suddenly turn around and say, hey guys, why don't we just cook some of the same meat that we've been giving to our guests? And that's why it's as good as it is.
5 miles up the coast, the guests have arrived on super yacht Nassima, so Chef Patrick is working flat out in the kitchen.
It's party time. I hate making canapes, but I do like a good party.
He must cook and send out hundreds of canapes single-handedly.
You've got to have a lot of experience. You've got to know what you're doing. You've got to be able to handle the pressure, and if you can't handle the pressure, you're in the wrong job. I'm happy with those. Why wouldn't you be?
Patrick has catered to the super riches every whim, 24 hours a day, for the last 5 months. And it's taken its toll.
When you think of all the suffering that's going on in the world at the moment, you know, obviously you've got the Syrian thing going on, and, you know, there's so many times you'd like to go out there to the clients and just slap them and say, wake up, you know, look what you're doing, look at look at all the money and wealth you've got. Problems could easily be alleviated with less greed, basically. There's vast amount of greed going on. You have to put your blinkers on, put your nose bag on, and just get on with your job. Do you know the thing about this? These will just be gone. Like feeding strawberries to pigs. And I need some white wine ASAP. Very tired, but not tired enough to have a few beers, that's for sure.
When Nassima returns to Monaco next June, it'll be with a new chef. Patrick has decided to quit.
You come in, you do your work, you work hard, you work bloody hard. But at the end of the day, I could take it or leave it, and I choose to leave it. You know, I'm going back to spend lots of time with the family.